Imagine a worker bee going through its daily routine. She goes in search of nectar and returns home with it so her colony can make honey. This process has been repeated every day for millions of years. But something has gone terribly wrong. Since 2006, colonies after colonies of bees have mysteriously died all over the world. It's called the Colony Collapse Disorder, or CCD.
This is something totally unprecedented in human history. Bees may suddenly become extinct on our watch. It's a crucial warning.
It could have devastating consequences. Bees pollinate more than 1/3 of all crops, and if they vanished, we could face a massive food crisis. But CCD could be indicating an even greater threat to mankind. Our own bodies are being affected in minute ways.
We have found abnormalities in reflexes of the children, and we have also found decreases in mental development, and also at age 7 with decreases in IQ.
It can disrupt our hormones to cause serious diseases.
There are also cancers that are hormone dependent and a number of other diseases like diabetes that are associated with hormones.
Throughout history, mankind has tried to control the environment at the cost of Mother Nature.
It's a very dangerous game to be playing, where we think we've got exactly the mechanism that things are working by and it shouldn't have any other effect. Well, biology is more complicated than that.
Lin Jing Tong has lived with bees for 40 years. Every morning, he takes care of his 400 boxes. He collects honey and other byproducts to sell on the market. But recently, his colonies haven't been doing very well. Honeybees face many threats in nature, but today, the biggest one is entirely man-made.
This one died from pesticide. It quivers and sticks out its tongue. When it dies, the belly contracts and the wings spread out. That's pesticide poison.
For decades, humans have been putting millions after millions of tons of chemicals into the environment. Each new generation of pesticides was supposed to be more lethal to pests, but safer to other species. But today, we're facing unexpected fallout.
When bees got sprayed in the past, they die immediately. But with today's pesticides, you actually don't see a lot of them get affected. You see very few of them because they are killed while they are away and they don't come back. The amount of poison is tiny, but it has a chronic effect.
This change in the effect of pesticides is thought to be the cause of CCD, or colony collapse disorder. Since 2006, colossal numbers of bees have died around the world. The worst-hit beekeepers have had more than 90% of their colonies wiped out within days. Mass death and disappearances have been reported across 5 continents and show no signs of letting up. For millions of years, bees have survived as a species, but for the first time, their defenses are failing, and they face possible extinction. This could have a devastating impact on the world of agriculture. Bees pollinate more than 1/3 of all crops known to mankind. If they disappeared, we could face a massive global food shortage. Researchers from around the world have been in a race to find out the causes of CCD. Dr. Alex Liu is a professor of environmental exposure biology at Harvard University School of Public Health. He's the author of a groundbreaking study demonstrating the link between CCD and the use of a group of insecticides called neonicotinoids. He's teaching students about bees. But instead of sitting in a normal classroom, they go to the rooftop of a campus building. Here, they've set up a beehive. They're keeping them to study their behavior.
Some people believe that by attending to beehives is quite therapeutic. Just because you have to be very calm, very gentle, that kind of soothes your spirit. Poke it. Poke it. Just poke it. Oh, there you go. Okay. Whoa. Now you want to try. Come on, go try.
It's so tasty. It's very dark. But that's really good.
Bees can thrive even in urban environments like Boston. They can forage anywhere to sustain their colony.
My main purpose is to teach the next generation the importance of bees to the ecosystem, to the human body, and to society as a whole. They're excellent environmental detectors. For example, if they go to an apple orchard, we can tell which pesticides are being used just by looking at residues left on their bodies.
This film will follow Dr. Liu on his quest for the causes of CCD. His efforts will reveal how small amounts of pesticides can have dramatic effects on bees and humans. Back in Taiwan, the mass death of bees continue. Every day, millions of them die around the world. Professor Chen Yu-Wan from National Ilan University is on his way to check on a nearby farm.
We're going to visit an old beekeeper. 90% of his bees suddenly died. I've never experienced anything like it, so I want to find out what exactly happened.
In the 60 years Mr. Zhang has been a beekeeper, he's never experienced such devastation. With about 30,000 bees in each of his 100 boxes, he lost more than 3 million total. But to Mr. Zhang, bees are more than just a business.
This year's bees are so beautiful. How could so many of them die so suddenly? I'm devastated. My mind is full of bees and I can only cry. Which pesticides could be so deadly? We've been poisoned before, but it's never been this bad. In the past, only some of them died, not like this today.
Professor Chen has come back to his lab at Ilan University to analyze the dead bees. Damage from pesticides isn't just caused by direct contact. Diet is the main route humans are exposed to pesticides.
All the waste is stuck in the middle of the gut because it couldn't empty its bowels. This intestine is definitely abnormal. It looks like there's something wrong with the pollen it ate, so it appears darker than usual.
Like pollen to bees, almost all the fresh fruits and vegetables we eat today contain residues. When we consume them, our bodies are taking in minute doses of harmful chemicals. And exposure isn't just limited to the adult worker bees.
The bees eat a lot of pollen in order to secrete a liquid to feed the larvae. So if there's pesticide residue in the pollen, the secretion would contain them, and the larvae also ends up ingesting them as well. It's just like when a human mother breastfeeds her baby. If there are chemicals in her milk made from the food she eats, it could affect the baby's development. It could cause damage to the baby's brain and hinder learning later in life.
Human mothers may also be passing on chemicals to their babies when they breastfeed, as well as through the placenta during pregnancy. But pesticides are a vital part of modern agriculture. Without them, we would not have cheap and abundant produce in supermarkets. Central Taiwan has the ideal climate to grow citrus fruit. Mr. Xie is a third-generation orange farmer and has worked this land for over 30 years. He relies on pesticides to safeguard his harvest. The concentrated chemical is first diluted in water and mixed together. He then uses a hose to spray his fruits evenly. Consumer attitudes make it difficult to avoid pesticides.
Who wants to buy blemished oranges at the supermarket? People want them to be pretty, big, and red. Nobody likes ugly ones. You cannot raise the price for dark oranges. It's impossible.
Pesticides are designed to poison only the insects they are intended for, but we're beginning to find out they affect other species, including bees and humans. At National Elon University, a bee conference is underway. Dr. Alex Liu has come to present his newest findings. It's not just about the fate of bees, but also the well-being of humans.
The genetic combination of the bee's mitochondria are 99% similar to humans. If a pesticide is harmful to bees, it's certainly bad for humans.
Each cell in the body has many mitochondria. They're critical to normal cell function and energy production. They've been implicated in many human diseases and are believed to play a key role in the aging process.
Why are people getting sicker around the world and at a younger age? When I was a student, we thought cancer was a genetic disease that only happened to older people over 60. Nowadays, even 2-year-olds can get it.
The destiny of bees and humans are intertwined. Bees indicate the delicate balance of the ecosystem has been shattered. CCD is nature's mayday call, warning us of a disaster that could reach colossal proportions. Back in Boston, Dr. Liu is on his way to his experimental hives. He is trying to replicate CCD based on his hypothesis. He works with local beekeepers to manage the colonies.
Hey there, how are you? Good to see you again. Did you have a good week? Yeah, we're going to start another experiment.
Today, he has brought neonicotinoid pesticides, which he suspects as the cause of CCD. First, they prepare high fructose corn syrup to feed the bees. It's used very widely in the U.S. Dr. Liu's theory is that tiny amounts of neonicotinoids in it trigger the mysterious phenomenon.
The unique character of CCD is that all the bees in the hive used to be strong and alive, and all of a sudden they disappear. Nobody knows where they have flown to. Obviously, they are not died inside the hive, which is commonly associated with disease, but the hive was just empty.
Each of his experimental hives are fed varying amounts of the pesticide to test their effects.
This is the pesticide that we prepare in the laboratory. Each hive